Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 122 of Compass Games Town Hall. I am live here with Billy Thomas. We're staging a coup. Oh, your audio, you're muted. While we're getting the technical stuff sorted out, I see all of you getting in your hashtag town halls already. You're all way ahead of the game. If you're new here, enter hashtag town hall for your chance to win a free game at the end of the night. All right. Yeah, Mo, different camera angle because the whole coup thing. Yeah, we're all hoping that Bill feels better very soon. All right. So I saw one question, Jeffrey. So those two don't have set release dates yet because they're still in the pre-production queue. They're not in production yet, but they're right at the top of the pre-production queue for both the people who are working on them. So hopefully we'll have some release dates on those relatively soon. Let me see. Who else did I see? Hi, Phoebe. Anybody else that I have missed questions from before we kick things off? Nope. Okay, cool. So, Larry Mayton over on Facebook had asked earlier about John Southard's Carrier rework, and that one is through the pre-artwork checks, and then it's going into artwork. Oop. There's
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but there's an echo.
I don't know why there's an echo.
Do you have headphones?
I could grab them, yeah. Let me grab them.
It's the Brittany and Brittany show with the echo. Yeah, John Southard's Carrier rework. So we finished the pre-production checks, which we did before artwork because it's such a big game. It's a lot easier to get all the kinks worked out before it goes to artwork than to try to revamp everything once it's solid. And now it is in artwork. So Bruce is getting started on that one. So I think that one's going to be moving along pretty quickly. Kevin Hoyt had asked the difference between deluxe and designer signature editions, and you missed the third one, which is the designer signature deluxe edition, which is one of the newer ones. There is no specific definitions to those. Usually a deluxe edition will have more upgraded components. It'll have the mounted map. Designer signature edition is a rework of something that was already published in the past with all the incorporated errata, maybe some additional content that the designer wanted to include originally but didn't back then, or ideas they've had since they originally released the game. And then you can have a deluxe designer signature edition with all of the above. And then why are some catalog games limited print run? So that one is probably better served by Bill answering the question, but it's generally things that we don't think are going to be as big a seller as everything else, like kind of niche releases that we don't plan on putting into distribution. That's maybe the main thing. We're only going to be selling them directly to you guys. Yes, Mo, and it has the shiny designer signature edition badge on it. Yes, good news from Brothers at War 1861. So everything is approved at the factory. I think there was one little glitch where they had one extra card, and Jillian had them remove that, and we're now good to go in the production of that. No Peace for 30 years. That one is already at the printers. I had done some last minute edits on a couple of the rule books, and then Julian had to do some of the exports on those because I was having a heck of a time getting the bleed right on them for some reason. Kaiser's High Seas Fleet is technically starting to ship right now. Don't get too excited. It's going to take a couple days for everything to get into the mail stream. But yeah, within the next week, 2 weeks, should be good to go. Yeah, Greg, when you take a break from new designs, we'll go back and redesign designer signature editions. Eastern Operational Quad, everything is done for it except for the new boxes. So I don't know specifically. I would imagine somewhere in the middle to late middle next year. Pay later orders have any effect on release? Not really. It's not that if something gets a ton of orders, it just pushes all the other ones out of the way. We decide to publish it or not. It's not, there's no sort of threshold. We don't do the P500 thing. And I did see the question about upcoming No Peace games. I do need to check on the details of those because I know Chris Van Beurden's working on one. I know there are a couple of upcoming ones, and I'll get details for you for next time. I already made a note of it. Paper Wars Belmont. I thought we reprinted that with the game, but let me check right now. Nope, you're correct. Magazine only. Ooh, No Peace for Portugal. I can see that being a fun one. I will add that to my list of things to check with the No Peace team on. Mr. Lincoln's War. Bill finished up with that one. That one's in production now. No, that one's about wrapped up, I think, or wrapping up shortly. Artwork. And then we have audio now?
Oh, any echo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I got to use
Okay, so while we are figuring out our so fun technical difficulties, this is what happens when Bill goes away. We all just fall to pieces. Let me share my screen, and we can talk about the shiny updates to the release schedule. Insurgent Tide will go on pre-order as soon as it goes to the printer. So we finished up the pre-production review, and I think we're down to maybe a handful of remaining pre-production edits. We're already on round 2 of those. So it's just a couple little things that got missed, and then it's going to be off to the printer. And it goes up for pre-order as soon as it goes to the printer. I don't know if Billy has, but I know Bill has, and he has really liked it. All right, so product pipeline updates. Some of you guys may have already seen this. Falling Crescent was swapped out for Grand Army of the Republic, so that's going to be coming up sooner rather than later. Everything else is pretty much the same. Kaiser's High Seas Fleet is shipping right now, but I won't move it down until everybody should have received their game, so nobody gets too panicked. Speaking of, what great timing you have. As I scroll forever. We have a new pre-order to share tonight. Very highly requested. Where's Shin Godzilla when you need him? Belter, Mining the Asteroids, 2076. This one is completely new edition of the 1979 classic. It's got all new artwork and a bunch of additional rules of play from Christopher Muller, so the designer of Brothers at War series and Burning Banners. And it is just beautiful. The map is probably not the best example of that because you can't really see it all zoomed in. But we've got very classic. Let me see if I can jump over. Iconic counters. And then we've got, I'll keep jumping over. Lasers. And then one of the really cool things that Chris added for this one are these folders. An operations folder for every player that has all the player aids you need. And it's color coded to your player color. I just think it's such a cute little, I feel bad when I say cute. Everybody always gets mad at me when I say cute. It is a very nice finishing touch, very enhanced playability. Handsome folders. And then here's just a sample chart. I know we don't usually show the charts, but I wanted to show some of Chris Muller's graphic design work just because it's beautiful. The font choices, it's just all the little splash artwork throughout. I think this is just going to be over the top. Even if you didn't play the original, I think this is the time that you're going to want to jump into it. It's kind of combination war game. It's got a lot of role-playing elements. If you're kind of getting into this type of thing with like Golden Age of Piracy and some of the narrative-based games, I think this one is really going to take you to the stars. So that is Belter. Jay, as soon as Billy gets back on, I will ask that. But I think they get sent out in bulk, so I don't think we can ship them out separately. But we do have the completely flippable version on here. So if you go to the website now, there's a 2025 holiday catalog sale page, and that has the fully flippable catalog. And as we learned through some trial and error, you can zoom in around, but you have to zoom back out to flip the pages. And you can download it right from here too, if you want to take a closer look. When you actually unfold it in a physical form, it's huge. It's one big poster, but I cut it down into kind of easier to read sections, so you didn't have to zoom in super far. And then the white space, that's just where the order form goes for the mail one, if you're wondering why there's a giant white space. And then we get into the small text ones, which aren't quite as fun. But right above that, you'll find a couple of cool collections. So this one is one of my favorites. So if you're looking to try a new era for the first time, but you don't really want to commit to something, the Stocking Stuffers collection is a great way to do that, because you can try a new era, try a new scale, try a new designer for $30 or less. It's not that much of a commitment. Or if you're looking for a gift for your fellow wargamers, great choices in here. Little Land, probably the biggest deal of them all, $129 down to $30. Just make sure I am not missing. Brian, see, I seem to have remembered that the new Christopher Muller's rules do, but the actual box says 2 to 5, so I need to double check that with Julian. I had that on my list for today, and I forgot to do so. I love to be an enabler, Chris. Yeah, there's some great Paper Wars games in the Stocking Stuffers catalog, or Stocking Stuffers collection. Michael, it's so funny that you reference that. One of my daughter's favorite books right now is A is for Alien, and it's the Kitty alphabet book that's about Alien. And N is for Nostromo. Yes. All right. There we go.
Are we good?
I don't know. Nope. But it's fine. You can just mute yourself, and
I turned it off on StreamYard. I turned off the echo cancellation.
You turned off the echo cancellation?
I
don't know.
Turned it off and then turned it back on, so I'll try it again.
It's okay. It's usually like a headphone thing, like it's hearing from your speakers.
Are we good now or bad?
I don't know. Yeah, we're good.
You sure?
I think so. Yeah, I don't hear myself anymore.
Oh, nice.
Okay, cool. Okay, Randolph came in late. Heard something about republishing Proud Monster. Yes. So let me just finish up here. We got our solo steals, all the greatest deals on solo games. And then we've got our blowout deals, which is all of the 40 to 70% off goodies at all price ranges. And then you can always do the shop all by category, and then you can shop by price. So you just pick whatever eras and things you want to look for, and it'll find you the best deals. Okay, so Proud Monster is up. Is it War in Russia or War for Russia?
I think War in Russia.
I think so too. Why do you hate me, website?
No, maybe it is War for Russia.
There we go. War in Russia. Yeah, that should have come up. It's the comma, I bet. I hate WordPress sometimes. Okay, War in Russia. This is Proud Monster Deluxe 2nd Edition. That is already up for pre-order. You can check it out on the website. Aaron, there are a bunch of games that are at $20, but because we had a bunch at $30 and then there was a jump from there, I thought we would just do $30 and below. Okay. Yep, I thought we had that right, Phoebe. Okay, so originally published, Command Magazine, 2 separate games all together, and Phoebe's just been doing a beautiful work on this because these counters have a lot of information, and the way that they got this presented just very clearly, I think it's going to be a good one. Let me see. Do we have the actual counter backs on here? Not yet. Okay. So once we get the counter previews on here, I think you're going to really like this one. All right. Any more questions while I keep up? Okay. So the next thing on the website, Expo's coming up very, very shortly. What are we, 3 weeks out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at over 90 people registered already, which puts us right about where we were at last year, 2 years.
Yep.
If you have not yet checked out all the cool special events we've got, we just added some more today. So we just added Wes Crawford's demos for St. Albans Raid and Flat Earth. But we've got all sorts of great demos. Even if you don't have time to prep, read rule books ahead of time, you can just come and play with the designers themselves and they'll teach you how to play and you'll have entertaining stuff to do all weekend long. My first time going to Expo, I had one game booked and it was the War Pacific with Ernie Copley to play the whole time. And then he couldn't make it. So I had nothing booked. And all I did was I hung out in Greg's corner and played Greg games. And then I hung out with Adam Starkweather and played Adam games. And that's filled my whole weekend. And I learned a lot of new stuff. Thanks, Phoebe.
Yeah, now like you're here.
All right. See, anything else fun? I think this is going to be a really fun one. The Doomsday Project Volume 3 mega game. We were doing the math today on what table layout we're going to need because it's 15 maps plus offshoots. That one's going to be a fun one. And then Lightning Strike's running the whole time. They're pre-playing it on Vassal to get into like the good stuff, and then they're going to set it up where they're out on Vassal in person and play the whole time. Yeah, you got a bit of Stockholm syndrome there, I think, Chris. You're stuck with him. Billy will be playing a tag game probably, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or what was the one from last time? You guys played through like Europe and Turmoil 1 and 2, right?
No, we played Mike Vitale's one.
Oh, Iberian Tide?
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah, that's a good one. I played Rebel Tide. We played them all. But no, Iberian Tide that was a good game. Very good.
Looking forward to that one. Bruce did a beautiful job on the artwork for that. Viking Dawn is just getting into artwork. I don't think we have anything other than really the cover art for that one yet. But as soon as we do, we'll show it. I'm so glad to hear that, David. That was one of my favorite games I've worked on the last couple of years. You guys, you're all using the wrong keyword. Billy and I don't care about mentioning errata. Get out of your systems before Bill gets back.
That's true. He'll forget by then. Yeah, it's the wrong thing. Wrong time.
We have some more pre-orders to talk about. Death in the Trenches upgrade kit. So this one is all of the actual units, so not the markers, but all of the game units are going to be on larger 5/8" die cut counter sheets. And the original game has those pre-rounded punch boards, but the thing about the punch boards is you need to leave a lot more space around the cut lines. So if we go to die cut, we get a lot more space to enhance that text and make them more readable. And we're also doing some reorganization to make the information that you really need to reference more often more visible, because kind of the information you need to reference the most often is some of the smallest stuff on there. And Phoebe's working on that right now. I think that one's going to be a good one to pick up. And then the other pre-order we have, Empires and Alliances. So no new artwork on this page yet. This is all just duplicates of the original. There's not a lot of artwork changes, but the cover will, of course, say Deluxe Edition. It's going to have 2 mounted maps and 4 updated half-inch counter sheets.
They will fit on the board because the board's hexes are bigger than what we had originally. So it's already big as is. So 5/8 is going to fit in those hexes.
That one's for you, Billy.
I'm gonna say, who knows?
We'll save that one for Bill.
Same counter sheets. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one. Because it's just, I thought it was just a reprint of the original. Or whatever.
For C-Power?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I didn't think it was something. I didn't think it was a sister game, but what do I know? Yeah, it will be up mounted board. It will include the errata. I talked to the designer, and he implemented fixes on errata changes that he found or he proved from Boy Game Geek and people's questions. I believe it's going to be around counters the same, just not. It won't be like the ones Brittany's talking about with the Death in the Trenches. It'll be just our regular rounded counters. So, yeah, so that's moving along. He's designer's got it. He's looking at it, making sure all the errata changes got implemented by Bruce, and then we'll go from there.
Aaron, I'd have to double check, but I believe in the rulebook there are some design notes that talk about there were a couple changes to the counters. But I will double check that. Yeah, everyone coming out to Expo is going to have to try out Polygon. Get your RPG on. Sensuicon is on the release schedule. Coming up right after Breakthrough Russia and before VCore. Okay. Let me see. What else do we want to talk about? I have some fun previews if folks want to. Okay. So I thought we could start with some things for Medevac. So this is Chris Selman's game about the medical evacuation of casualties from combat zone. It covers it's 1951 to present. So there's a whole bunch of different things. There's Korea, Grenada, Vietnam, Iraq, like all the way up to like hypothetical conflicts. All your major helicopter systems. There are some ground medevac systems that work with you a little bit, but it's mostly very primarily focused on the helicopters. Very simple game, very easy to get into. I think it's just 2 counter sheets and 4 maps for the 4 different eras that are covered. Very much a race against the clock. So longer it takes to evacuate your people, the more danger your casualties in. And you really get to get your mash on in some of it. It's very, very thematic. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Whoop, too much.
Oh, no more. Look, there's a lot of empty space.
I hate when it moves. Yeah, they're not. It's not done. These are just drafts.
Oh, phew.
Yeah, it's 2 counter sheets. There's not a ton of blank space, and we haven't done the pre-production review yet. So that I always end up adding counters when we do the pre-production reviews. Got your mash, and these look darker than they are because of PNG, so it loads these a little bit darker. But we already lightened these for better contrast, easier readability. And let me go to the box. See if I can zoom in a little bit without freaking out on me. Let me get rid of that comment so you guys can actually see things. Oh, that's great news. Learn to play for Kaiser's High Seas Fleet. What timing? Yes, Phoebe. Jonathan, I have not thought to ask that yet. Chris is right here, though. Let me see. Yep. Medevac is solo playable. Sure, Bill will appreciate that.
Gotta be solo.
Right. And then next time we'll have some card previews. Chris and I have been working on those today.
How many cards?
How many cards?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a couple of different, not decks, but different types of cards. So there's general cards that are used in every era. And then there's batches of specific cards to each era. So the technology matches the era that you're playing. Chris, are you around for a total number of cards? But I like that because I think you can do like you can make up your own like interim things. Like, oh, we had a little bit more advanced tech in this one versus. Let me see. Yeah, Kevin, that's my thought. Is especially with the customizable deck, there's a lot of opportunities for additional scenarios. Create your own scenarios. Steel Wolves, that one's still on the way, right? It's just at the factory.
Yeah.
Battles of Burgoyne's campaign. I swear Julian just talked about this. Is that one with Paul?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, yeah, that one's I think in the pre-production queue with the proofer.
Yeah, that's a good answer to say.
There we go, Chris. 75 each era.
Well, that's not
bad. Only funny if you know how much Bill does not like this game. But since you asked and spotted it, we got the box mock-up in for Panzermech Solitaire. This is a full Solitaire game. We're going to be working on the sidebars a little bit, adding some shadows so the mechs aren't actually floating. But we're really, really happy with this front image, and I really like the logo for this one. I'm super, super excited to get this out there. The artwork is beautiful. I thought we could ask a little bit of a poll, though, because we're kind of debating between two different stretch goal options for this one. For Burning Banners, we had those art print cards, like postcard sized, just some of the illustrations that were really cool. So you could display them. But for this one, we have a ton of concept artwork of when the mechs were being developed, and they have like little lore blurbs explaining why different systems are how they are. And we were talking about putting those in a small booklet altogether. So if you were to get an extra in a game that had no effect on gameplay, would you rather have art you could hang up on your wall or a booklet that has lore and concept art?
I vote booklet.
Yeah, that's my vote too. But I thought I would put it out there. Wrong one. Yeah, Hannibal's Tide. I'm so glad that we got that cracking. Let me see. I just saw a question and it ran right by my screen. Pictures of the artwork. Oh yeah, I can go over there and show you a whole bunch.
Yeah, I'll say booklet.
That's good. All right, here we go. All right, so this is just like the concept art section. This isn't the game components laid out. I can go to that section next, but just some sample ones. And they have little blurbs about the lore. Where's the one I really, really like? I like how it shows how they get packed. And then there's one that like folds down and like becomes flat in like a trench. I won't waste too much time on that, but I like how you can see all the different angles and learn the lore behind them. But let me go back. And this one has the different mech pilots that have special abilities depending on who's piloting each mech. I'm going to scroll through a million of those before I get back to the actual mechs. So many. Okay, hold on. We'll just go up to the folder and hope that I can find it.
It's only those two, right? It's only Russian and German?
Yeah, for this one.
Yeah.
Some of the layout tests that we're working with, very much about a BattleTech type feel. Working on the standees. This is one of the more plain options, but all the different mechs will have standee artwork. And we're going to do kiss cut standees, so it'll actually be cut out around the silhouette of the mech. So the whole thing is going to look like a giant like Pacific Rim type thing on the map. There we go. I like this. This is like the jetpack, and we're trying to figure out how to do it because you like add it to another mech.
I see. It's like I see.
So we were like, do we do it as a counter? Like, is it something you clip on? Like a whole bunch of different options there. So many votes for booklet. Okay, I will get out of here. I just had to get it out of my system while I can because Bill doesn't like it.
Yeah, Dad does not like that.
I think he would if it was futuristic. It's just the fact that it's alternate history. It's killing it.
I think that's the cool part about it.
I think it's the cool part too.
But I just don't think he likes how it looks.
I don't know how. I think it's beautiful.
I don't think he likes the mechanized.
Yeah.
thing.
All right. Well, the voting was pretty much unanimous. Thanks, guys. What else do we have in the fun live show shares? Did I miss any questions about specific games? I don't think so. We are people of the booklet. I like that. So Billy thinks it's because of the artwork. I think it's because it's like a diesel punk game, and that's kind of like a genre that's not really a Bill thing.
I agree. He's old school. That's it. Like he likes counters. He don't like the standees and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've almost gone standees on several games, and then we've backed off. And like, okay, we're gonna do blocks, but blocks don't really work with robots.
No.
Yeah, that's exactly my hope because I love Alpha Strike, and it's very similar vibe. Okay, what else do we got in here? Oh, I got the Strait of All Saints rulebook, which is not the most exciting thing, but I thought folks might find it a little bit interesting just to see the artwork in progress, just for the rulebook for Strait of All Saints. So this is Magellan's Passage to the Pacific. So you can either do just the Pacific Strait, or you can do a circumnavigation campaign that goes all the way around the world. And our artist, this is Kimmy Schwarzenbart. So if you ever hear us talking about a really good proofer, Paul, who is just like absolutely the most analytical, finds the craziest errors in every single game he looks at, it's his daughter. So same attention to detail. She definitely inherited that from him. Going in, the actual artwork in here is all placeholder because we're still working on the tiles. But I like the layout. I feel like it's going to be very fun to read. And I like the tables, the way they're formatted. All the little design notes and things. Not super exciting, but I liked it enough that I want to share it out. I'll see if I can find some of the counters too, so you guys can have something a little bit more aesthetic. Yeah, John, like we keep, I know whenever I talk about it with Bill, like it gets it messed up with Flat Earth, but I feel like it's two similar kind of games, but one is all real life and then one is real life until it's not. So Flat Earth, you go off to the edge of the earth like as a normal explorer, and then you go into the underworld and it turns into a fantasy game. And Strait of All Saints is just purely historical. And I think that's kind of a cool thing to try to just beat one person. Like, can you beat what Magellan did? Versus trying to beat what an army accomplished or a whole country accomplished. If that makes any sense. Okay. Yeah, Mike, we've talked about minis for a lot of different things. And the STL option, I don't know if we've really discussed that much. The print at home minis, but something to talk about. Rob, that one was called Strait of All Saints. Let's see. Anything else? Do you have anything you want to talk about?
Me?
In particular? Yeah.
No, just the catalog's out.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned that, but been busy with that. Good deals. I saw Zilla Blitz's video that was posted on Console Enthusiast talking about his top 20 games. I like him. I like what he does. So he did that, and a lot of those games were people bought, and what I've seen people buying lately. So I appreciate that from him. And no, it's just people are buying. We're getting orders. It's good. I see a lot of the same games like Western Front Ace, Zeppelin, Combat 1 and 2, obviously. So no, I've just been busy on that, and then working on. We'll probably have what at the end of the month. High Seas Fleet. People start getting. I know you mentioned that as well, but yeah, and then just that, and then moving forward for the convention. So it's an exciting month, 3 weeks coming up. A lot of stuff going on. Got to prepare for the convention, and then seeing everyone who comes and have a good time, as always. And then off to the next, then the holidays, and then off to the next convention, and then New Year, and then the next convention, and then do it all over again.
Yep, on repeat. We do have one more Kickstarter coming up between now and the Great Hunger one. So we're going to have the Kickstarter for Yamato, Paper Wars 112. So Greg Smith's Paper Wars game debut. That one will be coming up either later this week or it's Thursday already. Wow. Probably early next week. And then Great Hunger will be launching at the end of this month. So Great Hunger, let me see if I think I showed a bunch of stuff last time, so I don't want to do too much of a repeat. But I can run you through some of the basic stuff.
Yeah, I want to. Greg Smith said he should send Zilla a box of chocolates. Yeah, he should send us a box of chocolates for Christmas. He said he wasn't going to do that because he gave us a present, like a gift, like a month or two ago, and then it's like, well, what about? And he said that was a Christmas present, but I want a Christmas present too. That's crazy. No, it's really just that Monday that people like the Monday after the convention is really just we're there until like what 10, 11 if we even go. I mean, I'm me and Julia to clean up, but Brittany, the last time I know it's not worth the ride.
Yeah,
it's just a cleanup day. I'm probably there from 7, 8 to like 11, 12, and then that's it for me personally. I know Julian a couple times gone back to the office for a couple hours. I know he's also going home. It's just kind of like, a cleanup day, and then that's it. Because by the time it's like 12, 1 o'clock by the time we're done with that. So it's kind of like a day off. But again, if we wanted to, we can work. If not, that's that type of day for that day. But I mean, the convention, the weekend of the convention is not really, it's not really that bad. Sorry, Brittany.
No, it's not that bad, especially now that we have the Charter Oak folks like really helping out for setup and takedown. That's made everyone's lives so much easier, except for theirs, I'm sure. And yeah, the expo, especially now that we have hours for the expo shop. I think we had 1 or 2 events where we didn't, and we were going till like 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. But it's not that bad, and it's really fun. We get to see new people like all day long.
Yeah, more structured.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, when like the cleanup is just simple. Because people start leaving, early Monday, Sunday. So by Sunday night, we cleaned up, most of the stuff, and then by Monday morning, they get 2 people from the Charter Oak and or 1, and then we just take the stuff and put it in, and off they go. So it's really a kind of like slow day on that Monday.
Yeah. So Dudley, yes. I've just put up all of the different individual issues, I was saying episodes, from the upcoming subscription cycle. So you can either order the whole subscription cycle or the individual issues. And then if you're going to back the Kickstarter for Yamato, that is going to have the upcoming individual issues and the upcoming subscription available as add-ons if you want to just get everything at once. It's not here. I feel like Bill is like the most open book person ever. I mean, I do still think I hear different versions of the same story every time we go to Expo, and I get new details every single time. That one's on you.
I don't know if I have anything.
Right?
Well, no, nothing like crazy.
Wow, Chris, that's a big trip. Yeah, Charter Oak is
janitorial cleaning company that's attached My uncle, my dad's brother, uh, it started years ago, and then they were in the same building. They it's split between us and that. They're both family owned, obviously. So we'll pay them for that couple hours to help move stuff for the convention. The day it starts and the day it ends. So that's why I keep saying, and that's the name of the Charter Oak.
It's funny that you say that. We were just commenting on this when we were going through. We made this cool spreadsheet, and it shows how many times like different people have been to the expo and like the overall counts. Like some people have been all 8 times, or at least however far back we were doing the stats. And it's funny that a bunch of the Canadians who used to come all the time are not coming because they're the ones boycotting. But we have a whole bunch of new Canadians that are first time attendees for the fall expo. So it's kind of, I don't know, cycling, but the same
we don't really get
population.
We don't really get a ton of Canadians.
No, like not a ton,
4 or 5.
Yeah.
And to each your own.
David, you guys just have got to figure out what words work for us. You all know Bill's words. What can you get us to rant about? Spitfire Ace art. I feel like I worked on that so long ago. I don't know if I have any of that on me that's not on the website. I could just grab it if you want me to do a signature Bill unboxing.
Well, that Rick guy asked the question. I forgot his last. It was about what games are low. Yeah. Combat 1 and 2 are low. I'm trying to think I just thought of another one that was low. And like Enemy Action Identity, Fortress Europa, the ones that are available, Crusade, Lamps is low. Trying to think if there's anything else.
Anything that's not on sale, right? Because there are a couple of things that they're not on sale because we have low stock on.
Oh yeah. That's part of it. I still think Combat 1 and 2 are on sale, and they're low, extremely low. But yeah, Lamps obviously is not. Obviously you saw Lamps. Sunshine Sea is low, but that's not a sale.
Brotherhood and Unity.
Yep, but that's again, it's not sale.
Yeah.
Knife Fighter is low, and that's on a sale. That's low. Obviously Combat 2, I said. So. Red Poppies 3 is low.
John, I know that Phoebe's been working on getting the map ready for that so we can play test it at Expo. That's exciting. GDW reissues, other than White Death being up for pre-order, I don't think so.
Yeah, Dad has mentioned it that we're gonna have to go back.
Yeah, and get more.
And decide which ones, which 10 or whatever we decide to choose to take and do. Because that's what they did the first time. We did the first time. So that's what we're going to do with that.
I'll leave you with this question. I'm going to go grab Spitfire Ace so I can show some folks.
No, Dad, for the most part, Dad does the printing of labels. And he gets the invoices. On a new game, he'll give that stuff to me. So like the Kickstarter and the individual and like the website, I'll do at home, and I'll do them all because obviously they're about to come out. So I'll do like the whatever we get. But it's that part's kind of split. And he'll check the orders. I box them. But no, for the most part, it's really just. It's just us. It's he'll do that end, and I just do the warehousing. It's really not. It's just you do it for so long, you just run into like a habit. It's very simple. And I think it runs quite smooth. Obviously, you make mistakes, but I don't. For the most part, it's what he does on his end, and then he gives them. Then every morning I pick him up and I do them for the day. And if it's like I said, if it's pre-orders and stuff, I'll do them. But yeah, it just flows. It ebb and flows very nicely. Um, so can't complain about that.
All right. Spitfire Ace.
It's not the same.
Shiny box.
Really, not the same. It's got to be zoomed in. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. It's got to be wrong. Yeah, no, got to go down more.
Your sorty log sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't replicate.
Yeah, it's not. This is iconic.
But I don't have the digital file, so as requested, I can break out a physical copy, no problem. Well, the fact that my camera keeps going in and out of focus gives me some build points.
No, but it like really it gets it good like right there. So it's not because Dad doesn't do that.
I still have the counters in the wrap because I didn't want to mess with them. But
you can order you can order pre-order Burning Banners now. I think I think the shipment's coming, and it'll be. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think it's coming. It'll be back in like mid-November. I think. I think that's what it says on the catalog. I can't remember. But it will be shipped out to people who obviously pre-ordered it and got it on the sale or whatever for the catalog. So it is coming back in stock.
November 15th is what the website says.
So yeah.
Any more CSS series games? Yes, we were just talking to Adam about those today. You get his list. Either Anzio or Brevity will be in by the end of the year. So Brevity is Brevity, Battle Axe, and Dash to the Wire all together in one box. And then Half Gap is coming along, but that's going to be another 2 probably years out.
Oh, Mike Vitale, I answer his. Yeah, it should. It's gonna be close, but I think it should be. It should be out. Yes, it should be out. It's not gonna be close. It should be out before. And then the other Mike asks, "Will my order hold until?" Yes, you don't have to. Yeah, it will. Well, you can send a message if you want to hold them. If not, odds are no. It will ship out what you ordered, and then we'll ship out Burning Banners separately. But if you want, you can send. I think you send a message to my dad and ask him, "Hey, ship this together when it comes available," and we will do that. Yeah.
Chris, yeah, Anzio was the plan, but he said that Battle Axe might be closer, so they might swap places. The Crete game. There are 2 Crete games. Which Crete game are you talking? We have Combat Crete and we have Airborne Assault Crete.
Probably that one.
I'm guessing Airborne Assault Crete. That one, one of the maps needs to be updated. And then I think there's some rule changes for that one too.
I gotta take back what I said about the order because I got a important notice that is not correct, so that's a no. So that's a no. That's because I don't handle that side. I handle the warehouse. So there you go. See?
Are you getting like live messages, commentary?
No, that was the only one, but that's a no. That was the only one. So I apologize for that.
Stuka Josa, yeah, that one needs some updates. One of the 2 maps, the hexes are too small for the counter, so that needs to be changed. And then the rule book needs to go through some pre-production review. Brevity and Battle Axe. Brevity, Battle Axe, and Dash to the Wire. As soon as we have more information from Adam on that one, we can start showing some previews, but I don't think it's an artwork yet. And then Combat Crete, yeah, submitting later this month. That's exciting. Combat Crete includes something on Malta. I feel like Bill just asked them this. Was it this Monday or the Monday before that? And now I can't remember what the answer is. Phoebe will chime in.
Yeah, she'll answer.
Oh, you guys are all the questions now. Torpedo Junction, all the artwork is done except for the rulebook layout, which we're going to wait for until after the pre-production review because it's a very, very heavy rule set. So we're going to make sure all the pre-production edits are made before we make Bruce put it into layout because otherwise we're just being sadists and we don't want to do that to poor Bruce. Tokyo Express, that is going to be the next one after the current carrier project. So John's going to revisit Tokyo Express after we really get carrier into artwork. All right. I think I'm caught up. Sweet. All right. I know that we also just hit a nice milestone on the Facebook group. I think it was 4,300, 4,500. I'm just going to double check that. 4,300. Yeah, 4,300 members. So thank you to David White and to all the moderators who really help out and make that group as amazing as it is. World War III, 1989. Is that
Third War?
Yeah, is that Third World War? It's not called 1989, is it?
No.
Are we talking East Asia Front? If you could clarify, we will hop on that question.
Yeah.
We won't put up a game until after it's gone through all the checks. So the fact that we did all the checks and now it's in artwork. So as soon as Bruce really wraps up the artwork, we'll get the pre-order page going for carrier.
Yeah, he said yes to that. That's Third War.
Okay, cool. Then Eric is super on the money. There we go. I just like something to do with paratroops, but I didn't want to say that and then make promises for poor Matthew to add more things to his workload. I think Bruce only has, what was it, like 7 or 8 projects on his list right now? In theory?
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I just saw that before I hopped on here. So now it's not just the modules in the Paper Wars. Now they're doing like the printable map modifications to go with the big modules. So World War II campaigns has just taken on a whole life of its own. Now's a good time to grab a copy of that if you haven't already. I think Burning Banners is pay now, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm double checking that for you right now. Yeah, it's a pay now.
This is a big question.
That's a good question.
No, I'm proud of all of them.
You can't say that. You can't be a parent. I love them all equally.
No, but there's not one game that I look, and Dad will agree. There's not one game that I could sit there and say, like, we should have never done that, or I'm disappointed in that, there's not one. I don't. At least in my time for the 8 years, and the other few years that I was helping in college, there's not one game I could sit there and say that I'm disgusted with, or we shouldn't have done. I mean, because they've all served a purpose and they all do what they need to do.
Yeah. That's not the same as saying most proud of. Like, you can be proud of all of them and still be most proud of a specific one.
No, I'm most proud of it as a whole. Right? I'm not.
That's
I'm
fair.
not,
the whole body of work.
The whole company, all the releases, it all connects. I have I have the ones I like I like to play. But as most proud of, not, yeah, I'd have to. I think Dad would say the same thing. It's got to be as a total. I'm proud of them all. There's not one I could say like obviously some of them have done better sales wise than others, but I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm not proud of them. Certain ones I like them all, but for what I'm proud of them all. But what I like is different. That's a different answer. There's a few I could say I like that I really do enjoy playing.
I would have to say either Western Front Ace, which is what pretty much got me the job that I have now, or Shoots Troopa, because Bill and I pretty much made that happen. The designer had already passed away, and all we had to work with were spreadsheets. There were no notes on what he really intended or wanted to do with things, and we got it across the finish line together. I think it was 675 edits later. And then it ended up winning the Charles S. Roberts Award this year. So I think that would be the one that I'm most proud of. What ones do you like, Billy? Now I'm curious.
I like Burning Banners.
Yeah.
I love Imperial Tide. I love Death in the Trenches. I love... And you know what's funny? I don't like World War I. And I love Lamps, Death in the Trenches, and Imperial Tide. Those are probably my top three outside of like actual war games. And I think Death in the Trenches might be one because I like the whole thing, the whole grand strategic. I like the whole. Just looking at the map, just the way it plays. Trying to think if there's anything. Oh, I like Iberian Tide, Mike's game. I like that one because we played that convention. Oh, Shit Stripper was good. Me and Julian enjoyed that.
Yeah, Europe and Turmoil. I thought you guys really liked.
Yeah, European Turmoil ones and all. Yep, I like that. Very simple. That's why I like the more like. It's just but the easier games. I know Death in the Trench is not the easiest, but the more easy. And I also like random like the Death in the Trenches randomization things. I like that. I like being able to change like a little bit part history where someone comes in early or someone leaves early or late or whatever. I like that. So I'd say those are my top five. I'd say European Turmoil 1 and 2 are in there too. Yeah.
Dudley, were you the one that emailed me today? I just had to get this issue sorted for somebody else. I don't know. It's just Death in the Trenches has a couple of people flagged as fraudulent, but I can set you up with a pre-order if you're not already fixed. You guys save all the really big questions for the last 2 minutes of the live stream. What is up with that?
What? I'm trying to think. What one? Brotherhood and Unity. I would say the two that surprised me personally. Brotherhood and Unity, and Hearts and Minds. Hearts and Minds because it was like the fifth, sixth, whatever, and it just sold so it just did well. Brotherhood and Unity because it was just a unique topic, and people just gravitated toward it, and that did well too. I was surprised about those two. Not that they were bad games. They were good games. It just 1993, Serbian. Now who's gonna you never know, right? You don't know what people are gonna like, and you think it's a niche market that maybe people are not gonna like, but people love that game, and it's very interesting. It's a very good game, and that surprised me. Which one for expected sales? Which one did not perform as well as you thought? Which one didn't perform as much as I thought? I don't really. Again, they all served a purpose. I don't know. The more Burning Banners was probably the better. Again, that Burning Banners. Even though in my heart I thought it was going to do very well as it's done. Yeah, it's still a surprise to me. Just not to the fullest. Not to like Brotherhood and Unity and Hearts and Minds, but still. It still sells. It still does well today. People still buy. People love it. It's just one of those things. But
I think for me, Petri, at least recent games, Golden Age of Piracy, like I knew it had potential, and I was really hoping we would find the market for it. And that ended up being one of the highest backer counts on a Kickstarters in like the last year or two. That one really, the Kickstarter at least went really well. And I think people kind of just dove right in. Like I was worried people wouldn't get it because it's not quite a war game. It's like very much more into the narrative RPG style thing, and it's a sandbox game. And a sandbox game on tabletop, like people don't think it's going to translate very well, and it does. I feel like the one that I think should do better is Prelude to Revolution. I think Prelude to Revolution is just one of like the most immersive, like it's a lot of cubes, and it like I can't say anything about that, like it's just a lot of cubes, but the card play, everything, you learn so much, and it's just so interactive and engaging. I feel like more people should be playing that than are.
No,
But yeah, like it hasn't done bad. I feel like in my heart and mind, like more regular board gamers should be playing the Prelude series. It's fair. I should have thought of that. Okay. Wow. 9:00. I thought we would have trouble filling the time without Bill to talk because our meeting this morning, I was done in 15 minutes. Usually it takes me 45. All right. Let's get your last minute town halls in. There are still, I think, 10 of you who don't want a free game. What are we giving away today, Billy?
I'm going to say it's going to be Sea Power on the State.
Oh, nice.
Right? Or is it Brief Border Wars 2? I can't remember.
I think we did Brief Border Wars.
Yeah, so Sea Island State.
Yeah.
Whatever the last release, I think it's Sea Island State. I hope it is. Can't remember.
Well, I think Brief Border Wars 2 is after that, but I don't know if we gave away. Sea Island State. We're just going to make a call.
Yeah, that's a call.
All right. Let's see who it is. Somebody in Antarctica. We're going to have to send a penguin with a backpack. Tim D6, YouTube takes the win back. All right, congratulations, Tim. So send us an email to sales@compassgames.com with tonight's episode number and your mailing address, and we'll get your prize shipped out to you. Any last minute things over here? No, I think we're about good. Anything else you wanted to cover, Billy?
No, I just appreciate when everyone comes on, and I know my dad wasn't here, and we're hoping it gets better, but I appreciate the questions, people coming on, sticking with us, and yeah, like I said, buy from the catalog, what you want, come to convention, and yeah, have a good weekend, next and good couple weeks, and we'll see you for what? Is it Halloween movie? No, is it? The
I think Halloween's on a Friday, so yeah, day before Halloween.
Day before Halloween.
I'll get them in costumes.
All right.
All right. See you in 2 weeks, guys. Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.